Pacification measures continues. Number 1. The Sedition Law. The law punished by long imprisonment and a fine to any person who would utter seditious words or speeches, write, publish, or circulate scurrilous libels. So dito yung mga tao kung saan against sila sa gobyerno na lumalaban sila gamit ang seditious words or speeches, write, and publish. So meron ditong kaparusahan na kung saan sila magbabayad ng fine or long imprisonment. Number 2. The Brigandage Act 1902 or Ley de Bandilerismo classified guerrilla fighters as brigand or as ladrones and membership in an armed group punishable by death or long imprisonment not less than 20 years. Ito naman yung mga bandilerismo o sa ibang term ay banditry. Sila yung mga armed groups na nag-a-ambush sila para magnakaw or pumatay. So, tawag sa kanila ay ladrones. So, may kaparusahan ditong death or long imprisonment not less than 20 years. Number 3. The Reconcentration Act 1903 forced residents or towns infested with bandits and brigands to live in a designated military zones to prevent people from giving aid and supports to rebels, similar to the pueblos during the Spanish rule. So ito naman yung mga community or towns or tinatawag nating pueblos during the Spanish rule na kung saan merong mga bandits and brigands. So kailangan nila manirahan sa isang military zone ng American authority para maiwasan ng mga tao doon sa community na yun na masuportahan yung mga brigands or yung mga bandits. Political parties which advocated for the annexation of the Philippines was given special favors. Public education system with English as the medium of instruction was the best way of pacification. The burning of towns where guerrillas operated and prisoners were executed. So, nabigyan daw ng mga special favors ang mga political parties na nag-advocate sa annexation of the Philippines. Then, nagkaroon din ng public education system with English. And yun yung naging medium of instruction and the best way of pacification. Tapos, sinunog rin nila yung mga towns kung saan naninirahan yung mga guerrillas or mga prisoners kung saan sila pinapatay. The relationship between Filipino and American leadership. The working relationship between the Filipino and American leaders was characterized by the following measures or social processes. Number 1, collaboration and comprise. So, the elite and ilustrados, isa sila sa mga nag-welcome sa pagko-colonize ng American sa bansa natin. Nabigyan rin sila ng mga opportunities ng American na mag-participate sa colonial government ng Amerika sa pagko-colonize sa Philippines. The Ilustrados helped in reorganizing the local government by organizing the Association de Paz, which later became the Federal Party whose main goal was the annexation of the Philippines as one of the federal states of the US. The Negros elite organized themselves into a provisional government and wanted the province to be a protectorate of the US and later raised the American flag in Bacolod to show their loyalty to the Americans. Number 2, accommodation. So si William Howard Taft, the first American civil governor, adopted a policy of attraction. Yung policy of attraction na to ay yung Philippines is for the Filipinos. So, ang main aim ng policy na to is to prepare Filipinos to create their own government in our country. So, tutulungan niya yung mga Filipinos para makagawa ng sariling government para sa Pilipinas. Taft granted Federalistas a monopoly on official jobs reserved for Filipinos. The US introduced its own system of patronage to the Philippines. The Philippines Bill of 1902 Copper Act encouraged the Ilustrados to participate in the political affairs and was one of the effective ways of winning over members of the elite to the American side. So, ito naman yung mga Ilustrados, nag-participate sila sa mga political affairs and isa to naging effective way para mapanalo nila yung members ng elite to the American side. The Americans also implemented Filipinization. Number 1, the creation of the Supreme Court in 1899, assigning Filipinos most in the lower courts. So, ito yung paggawa ng Supreme Court sa Pilipinas noong 1899 kung saan inassign ng mga Americans yung Filipinos na tumayo sa mga lower court. Number 2, Filipino controlled the provincial and municipal government. Number 3, Filipinization of the Philippines Commission Governor Francis B. Harrison the rapid Filipinization by giving civil service position to the majority the Filipinos. Number 4, the Jones Law 1916 created a bicameral and all Filipino legislature. Number 5, Municipal Code enacted in 1901 by the Second Philippine Commission granted suffrage but only to male. So ito yung mga Filipinization na inimplement ng Americans sa Pilipinas. Yung successful rin ng mga Americans sa pag-govern sa mga elite sa mga cultural communities. Naging successful sila dito dahil binigyan nila ng social services and education ang mga naninirahan sa mga cultural communities. The Bates Treaty allowed American presence in Sulu. So ito yung treaty kung saan nakalagay yung kasunduan ng Americans and mga sultanate do sa Sulu. The Carpenter-Kiram Agreement in 1915 stressed the total sovereignty of the U.S. over all the territory of the Sultanate in all aspects except religion. So ito naman yung kasunduan ng Americans and Sultanate ng pagkakaroon ng authority nila sa mga territory ng mga Sultanates dun sa Sulu. Next is the resistance against American rule. Number 1, resistance of former officials of the Revolutionary Army. General Luciano San Miguel revived the Katipunan and led the resistance, but the Philippine Constabulary and American officials used the cordon tactic to capture new Katipuneros, but failed because the Filipino employed the Amigo Act by hiding their weapons and sought refuge in the homes of sympathizers. Ito yung pagtayo ni General Luciano San Miguel sa Katipunan ulit. Tapos, naghanap siya ng mga bagong Katipunero kung saan gusto hulihin ng mga Philippine Constabulary and American officials gamit ang cordon tactic. Pero hindi sila naging successful dito dahil gumamit naman ng Amigo Act ang mga miyembro ng Katipunans noon na kung saan itatago nila yung mga armas nila at nakahanap sila ng refuge kung saan sila pwedeng magtago o manirahan muna. Macario Sakay organized the Tagalog Republic with Sakay as president. Ito yung pag-organize ni Macario Sakay sa Tagalog Republic. Ang Tagalog Republic is a term used to refer to two revolutionary governments involved in the Philippines Revolution against Spain and the Philippine-American War. So, siya yung naging leader dito sa Tagalog Republic. Artemio Ricarte was deported by the American 3 times when he led a movement to revive the Katipunan. So, na-deported si Artemio Ricarte na mga Americans dahil gusto niya gumawa ng movement para ma-revive ulit mga Katipunan noong American times. Resistance of the Muslims and other cultural groups. To pacify the worsening conditions in the South, especially in Jolo, the Bates Treaty was accomplished, which provided the rights of the sultans and his datus would be respected and they would be given monthly salaries. It further provided that nobody would be persecuted for his religious beliefs. Resistance also prevailed in many areas in Mindanao, even Daluman. The natives occupying the mountainous areas also rose against the American government. Para daw maayos yung worsening condition sa South, especially in Jolo, nagawa nila yung Bates Treaty, kung saan nagbigay ito sa mga sultans and datus ng respect and ng monthly salary. Nag-provide rin to na walang mape-persecute dahil sa religious beliefs nila. Then, meron pa rin mga resistance na nag-prevail na naninirahan sa mountainous areas na tinatawag na lumad, na against rin sila sa American authority. However, the later part, some sultans and datus had accepted the Americans' offer of peace and order and political positions in the local government. The existence of the Malolos Constitution under a revolutionary government short-lived because in February 4, 1899, the Filipino-American War started and again destroyed the peace and order the Philippine society.